National Noodle Day, October 6th. Noodles. What kind of noodles? Noodles could be anything. It could be pasta, macaroni, but I mean everything's a noodle, right? Fettuccine's a noodle, spaghetti's a noodle. But we're doing ramen noodles because I love ramen noodles. Another one of my new addictions that I just can't wait to find more recipes for and just try to do more stuff with. It's like risotto. I just, you know, the more I find and the more I try, the more I fall in love with it. Well, today I found one for a copycat for one of the chain places. It's Mongolian beef ramen noodles. Never did Mongolian beef, so I don't even know what makes it Mongolian. Is it the kind of beef you use that makes it Mongolian? I don't know. It's got a lot of those Asian influenced spices, the soy sauce, the sesame oil, that kind of stuff. So I like that. It's got some peppers. I think it's going to be a nice little bit of heat with the crushed red pepper, so we're going to get a little spice in this one today. And I'm hoping it creates a nice sauce for our ramen noodles. Okay, but let's get started today. I'm going to tell you all the stuff you're going to need. Just wanted to show you real quick. Flank steak you're going to need. Now, the most important thing, I'm sure those of you that have cooked and used cooked meats and all stuff and watched the cooking shows, you all know the most important thing about using these kinds of steaks is see the lined grooves in the steak, the way that the steak goes. You always want to cut it across the grain so you get nice and tender. If you cut it this way, you get like chewy, it becomes chewy. It'll be more tender if you cut against the grain. Okay, that's all, just a quick tip. Alrighty, so here's what you need for today, and I'm going to start slicing that while I'm gone, so that way that's all prepped and ready to go when we come back. But here's what you need. Okay, for our Mongolian beef ramen noodles today, you'll need 1.5 pounds of flank steak, a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 1 green bell pepper sliced into thin strips, 8 ounces of dry ramen noodles, 3 green onions chopped, 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, 3/4 cup of soy sauce, low sodium version, 2/3 cup of brown sugar, 1 1/4 cup of chicken stock, 4 cloves of garlic minced, and a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Okay, so there's my flank steak. I cut it in half and then cut it against the grain in these smaller strips. Okay, so we'll have nice little strips to go in there. In our frying pan here, our vegetable oil we're going to put in first. Okay, get that, warm it up there. Put that in a pan. As you can see, it's very little because you're going to fry all this now. Now I took my cornstarch and I put it into a shallow dish here. You can also just take all this meat and put it in a Ziploc bag with your cornstarch and shake the whole thing up if you want. But I'm just going to do it by hand, just to kind of coat this, separate all these pieces. And we're going to have to fry this in batches because we're not going to just dump all of this meat in there at once because we want everything to kind of touch the bottom surface and cook. So I'm just going to put a bunch of pieces in here and then just shake them around. Okay. Coat them with the cornstarch. Now obviously the cornstarch is going to act as a thickener later when we go to make our sauces for this stuff. Okay. So you just shake off any excess flour. Let's see if we're ready to go. Nope. Another minute there. So I'm just going to shake off the excess cornstarch and we'll just start frying this in batches, okay, until we have it all of our meat browned here. Alright, so I'll be back after I do that and then we'll move on to the next step. Mongolian beef today. I'm excited about this one. I love these different kinds of recipes, especially if it's like something with an Asian flair to it, because I love those spices that they use. Alright, be back in a bit. Can't do anything else with these hands until I'm done. Alrighty, so we browned all of our beef and we took it out of our pan. There you go, there's all of our brown beef there. Cornstarch coated. Okay, like I said, that's going to add as a thickener later. So now in that same pot or pan, throw your green peppers in there and just saute them until they get a little tender, okay? You want to make sure you cook those down a bit. Okay, so those are just about ready. You just want to soften them up a little bit. You don't want them so soft. You want them to still have a little bit of a crunch to it. I mean, that's the fun of having a green vegetable. in your dish is to have a little bit of a crunch left. Okay, so take those out. Now, same pan, chicken stock first. Like I said, we want to deglaze this pan and get all of this great flavor off the bottom here, okay? So you put in your chicken stock. Just give it a good scrape. Okay. And then you're going to add the rest of your stuff here. We're going to add our soy sauce, brown sugar, garlic. Try to get everything in there. We don't want to leave nothing left behind. Our sesame oil, okay, and our crushed red pepper flakes. The only thing you don't put in is your green onion. You save that to the end. That's kind of like a last minute throw in garnish kind of thing, okay? So just mix this all together. Again, just make sure you really scrape the bottom here. Now you're just going to let this simmer, and you're going to let it reduce just till it's a nice thicker. You'll see it's going to thicken up, all this stuff. Between the sugar, the cornstarch, it's all going to turn into this nice glazy sauce. So just do that about 10 minutes. Let that simmer, okay? And reduce probably by half. Oh, forgot to tell you. Now would be a good time too to get a pot of water heating up here. While this is reducing, let this come to a boil because you're going to need to cook your ramen noodles. And that takes like literally like 2-3 minutes. Noodles done. But get your water ready because this is going to come together fast, alrighty? And then after 10 minutes, when this is kind of reduced down, take your flank steak, put that back in there, and your peppers, okay? You can drop all your ramen noodles into your water. Like I said, that's only going to take about 3 minutes to cook, okay? Turn the heat up on that a little bit. Okay, make sure those are all in there. And then just mix together all of this with the sauce, so that way everything gets really nice and coated, okay? Alrighty? And then once you add your beef back to this mixture too, the cornstarch on the beef is going to kind of help thicken this up a little bit more too. So you're going to have a nice glazy kind of sauce once you add all that back in and heat that all back through. Our ramen noodles are done, as you can see. So I'm just going to take all of these, put them right onto my big platter here. Okay, I love ramen noodles. Oh my god, these are so good too. I just discovered this brand recently and I just love the way they come out, and I love the way that it's like 3 minutes. I mean, you want ramen, I mean, 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. You got ramen. Alrighty, just try to get as much of this out of here as I can. Okay, and then once you have your plate of ramen noodles, your platter of ramen noodles, you're just going to pour this right over the top, okay? So that way you get a nice coating of everything, your sauces, your beef. I mean, look at this. Oh, I almost forgot my scallions. Fresh scallions from my garden, the last probably of the crop, unless I move them inside. Grow them yourself, they're really easy. You just take the white bottom of your scallions that you save instead of throwing them in the garbage with the little roots on the end, stick them in the dirt. I'm telling you, you're going to see those things grow right out. There it is. Mongolian beef ramen noodles for Noodle Day. I'm going to get this into a smaller bowl and we're going to dig in. Be right back. Alrighty, so I got my taste. It's going to be a lot left over here, which is great because who doesn't love, you know, Asian, Chinese leftovers the next day. How good that looks. Oh, I can't wait to try this one today. Let's try the noodle first, since it is Noodle Day. Okay, just want to see how this sauce tastes with the noodle. Ooh, that's good. It almost has like a molassesy, well, if that's a word, kind of taste, you know, from the brown sugar and everything. It gives it like this sweet sesame flavor, which with the sesame oil too. So it's great. Let me try a piece of the beef. Hot. It's hot. Sorry I'm eating like this, but it's hot. meat is nice and tender from cutting it the way you're supposed to. And then having that cornstarch dusting on the outside of it, it really absorbed all of the sauce flavors, which is great. So you have this great combination of flavors here all together between the meat. Now I got to do a piece with a piece of pepper. Now, I told you at the beginning this was a copycat of a Chain Places version. I have no idea what that version is because I've never tried it, but now I might have to, just to go see how ours compares. Because this one is pretty darn good. Alright, noodle day everybody. Get some noodles. I don't care what kind of noodle. Chicken noodle. Whatever kind of noodle you want. Post a picture in the comments. Say, hey, I'm having a noodle today. And we'll see you tomorrow.